So one of our viewers here is asking, how do I begin a restaurant business without capital? How do I start a restaurant business without capital? I'll tell you. But first, there are two things I need you to have in mind before I go into the main topic. First of all, I need you to cast your mind to the possibilities and the extent of the restaurant business. Permit me to call it food business because it really gives the meaning when you call it food business. Number one, we have the smaller ones, those ones on the roadside, like in African communities. You can find some people on the roadside, like in my country, Nigeria. It's called mama put, where you call mama put, by the roadside, a little rice, a little protein, this and that, very low cost. And the junctions in places like that, very low cost. And then you also have some that are actually in lock-up shops, a little bit beautiful. You can buy food there at 5,000 in naira, 4,000 naira, 7,000 naira, sometimes even 15,000 naira. Places like Calabar Kitchen, places like that. And then you also have the big, the highbrow restaurants, the classy restaurants where people of class, want to identify with. So you can buy food there like 25,000, 20,000, 15,000, sometimes 100,000, sometimes 150,000 naira. You understand? It's not the same kind of food that you'll find at the 5,000 naira restaurants that you're going to find in this kind of restaurants. Actually, their foods are more presentable, the environments are more better, and then I think their food are more healthy. I don't know what it is, but I think that it's just, you get the value. And then you have people who are into the restaurant business big time. People like the KFC, people like the Kilimanjaro, people like the Genesis that they are all over the place, very big. Those ones are into the restaurant business big time. We still have people who are not that popular, who their names are not that known, but yet still they are still operating in a bigger level in that same food business. You understand? These are people who their companies are actually servicing clients like a whole ship, a vessel. They are responsible for feeding the crew and feeding the passengers. Sometimes 500 people, sometimes 1,000 people, sometimes 1,500 people, sometimes as much as 3,000 people, passengers. You understand? They are responsible for feeding them for like 3 square meals every day for like 3 months, 4 months, wherever the vessel is going to. They are the ones with a permanent contract in that vessel. Some of them are having permanent contracts with cruise vessels. Some vessels have restaurant by restaurant, but some of that vessels just have a permanent contract, a person who feeds everyone. You understand? And then you still have people that own restaurants that are in those vessels. You understand? You still have people like that. And then still inside this food industry, you still have people who are, servicing places like MTN, companies, big IOCs, banks. They have restaurants in the building there where they are the ones servicing. You still have people who are managing kitchens for big hotels, 5 stars, 3 stars, normal, normal hotels, all over the place. People like that, you still have them. And then you now have the recent ones, the online vendors. So I believe you must have casted your mind all through this, and you now should understand which one that you want to be identified with. That's number one thing I need you to know. Before I go into the topic, quickly, the second thing again I need you to know is that the restaurant business is very, 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 profitable. Quite profitable at whatever level that you're operating. If you know what you're doing, it's quite profitable. So now you will now be able to look at who are you, what level are you in life, and what particular aspect of restaurant, what particular aspect of the business you like to be associated with. So now straight into the topic, how can I start a restaurant without first investing capital? I have 3 ways to do that, which I'm going to explain to you. Now, for our viewer who asked this question, I have looked at your profile, and then you are among the our social youth, so I can understand the particular parts that you may be very much interested in, but I'll still give you 3 parts because the video is for everyone. It's general for everyone, so anyone at any level can just choose anyone and operate with. So let's go into the topic proper. The first that you're gonna have to do, that I want to introduce to you, is the one I think is best for young people in the country, because it doesn't need you to have much infrastructure, it doesn't need you to have a lot of these things, and doesn't need capital. So pick a biro, pick a sheet of paper or a book and start jotting down. Number 1, I need you and I to agree that you live in a home, and that in that home you have a kitchen. 1, and you have kitchen utensils you can cook with, pot that you can cook with there. Then I need you and I to agree that you are a cook. Yes, you know how to cook good food. You understand? Or you can hire a cook, or your cousin is a cook, or your sister is a cook, or your brother is a cook. That is, let you and I agree that you can provide this for yourself, or that you can cook. So put it down. Number 1, I live in a home, I have a kitchen, I can cook. That's number 1 on that list. Number 2 on your list that you're gonna have to put down, I need you to meet 5 delivery guys. Either you go to a delivery company close to you, or you meet delivery guys you've been using before now, you know, those guys with the bike and all that. You don't need to own a bike, no, you just meet with them. Some of them own bikes, some of them are even affiliated with companies, you know, that own those bikes and stuff like that. So meet like 5 of them, one-on-one, have their names, have their phone numbers, discuss with them that you need them to work for you. Yeah, you're already thinking as a CEO, you see, you need them to work for you. Now, that's number 2. Write it down. Their names and their phone numbers. That's number 2 item I need you to do. Now, number 3 item that I will need you to do is to own a website that people can order food from. A food vendor website. Now, I know you're going to start saying, yeah, but I don't need money. Glovo is there. I need money. This. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Please, patiently listen to me. Now, you need, with a web, you don't need money to have a website in today's Nigeria, in today's world. You see, that's why I keep telling my audience, my viewers, always update yourself. As a business person, or a person aspiring to be a business person, always update yourself. Because for me to listen to you say, how can I have a website without have capital? Won't I have to pay for someone to do a website for me? You sound like 10 years ago to me. You understand? Because the kind of website that AI will do for you these days, those web designers can never do it. Tell them I said so. In fact, AI gets better. In the next 1 year, none of them will even try itself. None of them will even try to do what AI is doing. Tell them I said so. If they come to me, I'll tell them. So what are you going to do? Now, you're going to take your mind away from the possibility. Now go to Zero ADI, Zero AI. Go to your Google and Google these things. Either Zero AI, or you can go to Bookmark, ADI. You understand? Or you can go to Wix, WIX. Zero is ZYRO, ZYRO. Check these things. And if you're using an Apple phone, you're at the point of advantage. You go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT which website, which AI website you go to that will create a free website for you. So these people will develop a free food vending. You just put your prompt. They will develop for you a free food vending website for you. And what's most important on this website is that the name you are giving to the website, number one. The name you are giving to the website, number one, there's something I need you to understand about the name. Now, don't make your website general. Like someone is in Kaduna and the website is suggested to the person, and the person tries to order food, and you have to tell the person, no, I now live in Enugu, I don't order. No. Don't make it general. Please limit your reach to your catchment. So that means that give the website a name related to your catchment. For example, if I live in Owerri, I can say Owerri food plug, Lagos Island food plug, Owerri food OC, Port Harcourt food sergeant, Port Harcourt native sergeant, Port Harcourt chop chop, or Owerri chop chop. You understand? And then you will be doing the kind of, the what should be in your mind is the kind of food that is, people in your location would like. You understand? So if your website has this kind of catchy name, you find out that people will be very, very much interested in your website because it has a catchy name. And then I think to host that website, they have the free versions basically, but if you also need the pro versions, you understand, you need to look in some kind of way. Maybe you can pay, very cheaply for the website to be hosted for him to look, but basically they have free versions. You understand? So the next thing that you do is that observe that thing I told you. Have your catchment, because after all, you cannot deliver food from Owerri to Kaduna or Owerri to Lagos. Have your catchment. The people in that Owerri, just deal with them. So put Owerri chop chop, or Owerri food sergeant, or whatever, something catchy. You understand? Now, those are 3 things I've asked you to write in your exercise book. Now, after writing these 3 things, I'm going to need you to give it a timeline. 7 days time. Just write it in that book now. 7 days time, I have achieved all these 3 things. In 7 days time, you've made sure you have your kitchen in place, and you make sure you have your cooking place. And then the second thing, you've spoken to the delivery guys. You understand? And then the third thing you've done is that you've opened the website. Free website. AI has done you beautiful website, beautiful ambience. Now you've entered the second week. Now, what are you going to be doing in the second week? Second week is for you to, if you have a good camera phone, you have a good Apple phone, you go to ChatGPT or go to all these AI websites, develop AI videos or AI pictures of the kind of food you want to be selling. Yes. Because you know that it is what we see, what your audience see, what your customers see with their eyes that entice them. The food has to look sumptuous. Offer salad, offer this, offer that. Afang soup, edikai kong, offer this and that. Those are the kind of things, you understand? Or you want to be doing pastry, something, beautiful. Those are the rushes that you need to, input in the website. You understand what I'm saying? So what do you do after you've done that? That's you're in the second week now, and you've gotten those pictures and put them in the rushes. Put your prices too. Sell your food 5K, 6K, 7K, even 12K self. Even 8K people will order. Don't play in the small league. Remember our rule in this site, our rule in this channel. Don't play in the small league. That's one I believe most of my viewers would know me with saying that already. Don't play in the small league. So put your food at 12K, 8K, 7K, 15K, 9K. You understand? Design your website to look odogu. You understand? Nobody knows it's the free web. You get? Because it looks better than the one that your web designer did. I have been doing for you guys. It looks better. So now, after you've done that, you understand? The next thing you're going to do is to promote your web. After you set up the website, you have to promote the website. Now, promotion is not an expensive thing. 10,000 naira, you've done 3, 4, 5 days promotion. You understand? I don't know why people usually go meet people. I want you to run Facebook ad for me. I want you to run TikTok ad for me. I want you to run Instagram ad for me. And they start charging you 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 2 million. I don't understand you guys. If you have an Apple phone, find a way. I'll do this video, I'll do that video, how you can fund your Apple account. Run your Facebook ad yourself, run your TikTok ad yourself, run it yourself. Things that you can do for yourself. You always go to ask people to do it for you, and then they will charge you and keep your money. You understand? Run these things for yourself. If you don't have an Apple phone, meet someone that have an Apple phone. Show the person how to load his Apple account. You guys use it and run the Facebook ad and all this. So by the time you run a 10,000 or a 15,000 naira ad for 5 days, my brother, you will have a new problem. Anyway, this is week 2. So in week 2, you have populated the sites with your, your pictures, and your very nice videos and pictures and everything, and your pricing and everything. So, and then you've now promoted the site. You are in week 2 now. You've now promoted the site. You now have a new challenge, my brother. That is the challenge of how to meet up with your demand. And you and I know that that's a better challenge to have than the challenge of waking up every morning and then there's nothing to do. It's better for you to wake up every morning, there's too much to do, that it chokes you. You now need help. It chokes you. It's better that way than you wake up in the morning and there's nothing to do. Life is just empty. You understand? So I'll still discuss how you can meet up with the demand. That will be in some other video. But now, you wake up to orders. If you promote that post for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 days, you start having orders because of that. Oh, when they chop that, you start having the orders around there. Believe me, if you go to market, you can't cook your food, or is it a cook you have? Cook your food and you call your delivery guy, deliver the orders. Delivery guys will start being familiar with you already, because you don't just call a random delivery person to come and deliver. You met with them, you discuss the business with them. They will even be giving you lesser pricing. You understand? You're already beginning to build an empire. So believe me, by the time you are in this thing for 1 month or 2 months time, you start making a whole lot of money from it. And if you're thinking of having a physical restaurant after this, you're at a position of advantage, because by the time you have that physical restaurant, the people are already used to your name. You're going to have more influx of customers coming in to eat with you. They are more used to your name. So there are 2 high points in these things at this point in time that I need you to observe. Don't ever serve out food that is tasteless, food that is not up to your standard. Oh, you need to have standard, brothers and sisters. That's number 1. Better don't serve than to serve food that has no standard. That's number 1. Number 2, try to deliver on time. I always tell you guys that you look at the loopholes that the rest of the other competition has. You look at loopholes that competition has and fill up that loopholes. You find out that you do better in that industry. The loopholes that these people have when you order food by 10 o'clock in the morning. They bring the same food to you by 4 in the evening, 3 in the afternoon. What kind of thing is that? So you make sure you don't do that. You do the opposite of that. Deliver on time. Take your job serious. So before you know it, you get bigger. So that's just number 1 way of opening, going into a restaurant business. Very profitable without having capital. And you start ending up with so much money. Brother, if you have 30 to 40 orders a day, you will need 2, 3, 4 more cooks. Very soon your kitchen will not contain it anymore. You will now have to go out and have the physical restaurant. And that's how business is done, from one step to the other. So in the next video, I'll be discussing the second step, the second way of how to go into restaurant business without having capital, without investing capital first. That's for people who do not want to go into all of this, I'll see how to discuss with you some other way. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.